The moment she spoke, a chill ran through me. We were near the punch table, surrounded by laughter, clinking glasses, and music that drowned out most conversation. Her words, though, cut through it all. Leaning toward her friend, she said with a laugh that didn't reach her eyes, "Honestly, I wish I'd come by myself. This would be so much better." It wasn't quiet. It wasn't subtle. She didn't care if I heard. My hand froze around my drink halfway to my lips. Her friend's smirk told me everything I needed to know. This wasn't just a careless remark. It was deliberate. "You okay?" I asked, trying to keep my tone steady. She rolled her eyes. "Relax, it's a joke." I'd heard that kind of joke before. Sharp, cutting, disguised as humor. The party continued as if nothing happened. Couples danced, conversations blended into a blur, laughter floated around, but my night had already ended. The ride home was suffocatingly quiet. She hummed along to the radio, tapping her fingers on the door, seemingly carefree. "You mad?" she finally asked. "No," I said, lying. "Thinking about what?" "About how you said you wished you'd come alone." She sighed. "It was a joke. You always overthink." Maybe I was overthinking. But there was something rehearsed in her voice, something I had heard before. At home, she went straight to the bedroom, kicked off her heels, and buried herself in her phone. Her laughter at the screen stung like salt on a wound. I stood in the doorway, feeling like a stranger in my own home. 2 weeks passed before I saw the truth clearly. It started innocuously enough. "Ethan from work said we should all go hiking next weekend," she mentioned casually. But the way her eyes lit up, the subtle inflection in her tone, it all screamed something I didn't want to admit. Texts at odd hours. Perfumes I hadn't noticed before. Extra care with her appearance before late meetings. The details were small, almost invisible, but once I noticed them, I couldn't unsee them. One night, I asked the question I'd been avoiding, "Are you seeing someone else?" Her reaction was immediate, eyes widening for a brief second, then cold. "Seriously, Michael? That's pathetic." I said nothing, only asked to see her phone. Her gaze hardened. "You don't trust me?" I didn't answer. She grabbed her keys and left, the door slamming with a force that rattled the frames on the wall. That night, the living room was dark and silent. By 3 a.m. I called. Straight to voicemail. I knew I needed proof. I hired a private investigator. Saying it out loud felt absurd, like something from a movie, but desperation makes fools of us all. 3 days later, the evidence arrived, photographs. Her car outside a restaurant. Her hand brushing against Ethan's arm. Their laughter captured mid-moment. Later, her head resting on his shoulder, his hand on her waist. Finally, her leaving his apartment the next morning, still wearing the same dress. Seeing it was different than suspecting it. Seeing it carved a hollow ache through my chest. For 3 days I lived a charade. I made her coffee, kissed her cheek, listened to her chatter, all while my heart screamed. The next company party was my moment. She asked me to come. I hesitated, feigning reluctance. The rooftop was glittering, alive with music and laughter. She floated through the crowd, radiant, untouchable. Then I saw him, Ethan. Tall, confident, a smirk that belonged to someone who knew the world was theirs. When their eyes met, it was instant, something intimate, undeniable. Later, as she laughed too loudly at a joke, she repeated the cruel line from before, "Honestly, I wish I'd come alone. It'd be better without my husband hovering." I leaned close, whispering into her ear, "You know what, Emily? You're right." Her confusion was brief. Before she could speak, I set my drink down and walked out. Out of the party. Out of the building. Out of her. She didn't call that night or the next. When she returned home, suitcase in hand, I had already packed mine. "Where are you going?" she demanded, voice cracking. "Wherever you wanted me to go," I said softly. "Freedom. Space. Fun." Tears streamed down her face. She tried to stop me, but I didn't turn back. Once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. I spent the night in a motel, staring at the ceiling, numb. 9 years dissolved, not just from betrayal but from being made to doubt myself, my worth. I replayed everything, searching for the moment it all started to rot. Somewhere beneath the heartbreak, a strange calm settled. The truth, brutal as it was, had finally freed me. A month later, I filed for divorce. She didn't fight it. She cried. Regretted everything, or maybe just getting caught. I didn't wait to find out. When the papers were signed, I stepped outside into crisp winter air. For the first time in years, it felt light. I remembered her words at that first party, how she wished she'd come alone. Funny, so did I. Because leaving alone was the first time I felt like myself again.